Welcome everyone on this Monday morning. I'm not going to be philosophical with you today. However, I'm inspired by something that I did over the weekend, and that's where this class is kind of stemming from. I was contacted about a month ago to see if I was available to teach for I guess a conference, for lack of a better term, of a group of women who had inflammatory breast cancer. And they were all stages of this disease. So some of them had just had either, some sort of mastectomy, or they had been through chemo, or were going through radiation, or were just ending their treatments. So it was all different varying stages. And it was at a place called the Inn near Opryland. And when I showed up, I knew that it was going to be women of all different phases of the disease. And luckily, not so luckily, I have a sister that's been going through breast cancer this year. So I felt like I had a little bit more knowledge and a little bit more compassion just through my experience of taking this journey with my sister through her eyes and through listening to her. And she's been telling me this whole year she can't do any yoga. I'm like, I just think everybody can do yoga. But I'm not with her because she's like 7 hours away. But I do know that when you have such massive surgeries, you're limited, right, on how well or how much range of motion you can lift your arms and shoulders, as well as how much you can open your chest, because there's a lot of scar tissue, there's a lot of healing. Sometimes they have tubes that are still catching some of the drainage. And I know that's a lot of information, but there's a lot to deal with that. So I show up with a very, very gentle practice plan for them. And there were a couple really vivacious women who were actually really funny. And they came up to me holding each other, around the neck. And they were saying, together we are one woman. Because one of them had lost the left breast and another one had lost the right breast, and they were putting themselves together. I mean, just cracking jokes about something that really isn't funny, but it just shows how much they've learned through their own journey that a sense of humor is important. My sister has actually had to bring in a sense of humor with all this too. It'll keep you sane, right? So anyway, in the middle of the class, one of those women were like, tell us about lymphatic drainage, right? Because that's an important thing, because, when they find a tumor in your body, the next thing they're going to do is check your lymph nodes. Because if it has traveled to any of the lymph nodes, then there's that greater chance that the cancer cells are going to spread through the body. And so that's their indication of how much treatment does this person need. So that's what we're going to talk about today. So today is a little bit more scientific, it's a little bit more anatomy based. So what we're going to be doing today is working with lymphatic tissues, lymph nodes, and we're going to create some lymph drainage. So I thought we would just discuss that. One thing you can do for your lymphatic system is do dry brushing. And you basically get one of those big back brushes and you're just brushing it up your body in strokes towards your heart. So that's one thing that you can do. Some people enjoy going from hot to cold water, either hot, cold showers, where it's sometimes at a spa or at a retreat center. They'll have the hot jacuzzi and then the cold dip. For you to do that, that's actually really good for the lymphatic system. Being inverted is good for the lymphatic system in the upper body because of the angle and how you're working with gravity. So you're going to find that through today's practice, it's probably going to feel like a regular yoga practice, but I did specifically design it for helping us promote better health in the system. What happens is there's proteins and there's fluids and water that leak from our blood capillaries. And so their job is to collect this extra fluid and to move it back into the bloodstream. So the spleen is one of the lymph organs. The thymus gland is also connected with this. The lymph nodes are located more in the neck area, the chest area, the armpit region, some in the abdomen, and in the growing area. So for instance, with my sister having a breast tumor, they went for the lymph nodes underneath the arm to check that out, and she had it in 3 lymph nodes. Kimberly Rose that comes here that's been dealing with colon cancer, she just went in for a colonoscopy, and they found that she had a tumor, and she had to go through the surgery, and she had to go through chemotherapy. But her treatment wasn't as bad because they only found it in 1 lymph node, but they took it from her growing because obviously that's the closer area to the colon. So anyway, we're going to work on that with ourselves. So we are going to center when we come back to the mat. So we're actually going to get up. We're going to go to a wall. It doesn't matter which wall. You don't need your mat for this. And the first thing we're going to do is stand with our right side body facing the wall. And I want you to go ahead and look down at your feet before you do anything else. Make sure your toes are pointed straight ahead. Your ankles, knees, hip bones are aligned. Zip up through your legs in midriff, and now take your right hand and slide it up behind your back onto the wall. Now you may notice your heart may want to dial towards the wall. So try to avoid that if possible. I mean, it's going to go that direction anyway, but try to roll the left shoulder up and back and lift higher through your breastbone. Close your eyes. And I want you to feel this deep stretch. So other things that can help the lymphatic system is contracting and loosening our muscles, which we'll be doing in the active poses. But another way to drain these tissues is deep stretching and deep breathing. And you can feel the connective tissues where the arm attaches to the torso. You may feel this stretch even moving across the right side of your chest towards your sternum. You might notice tension could perhaps form in your throat, in your jaw, in your face. So let's take a cleansing breath together. Breathe in through your nose. Breathe out audibly through your mouth. And now keep the lips just slightly open. Take one last breath. And then exhale, just slide the hand down the wall. And even take a moment to stand in Tadasana with your eyes closed. You might notice your right arm feels longer. Now we're going to turn so that the left side is facing the wall. Please don't lean into the wall. And look down at your feet, line up them so they're parallel. Stack your leg bones. When you're ready, slide your left hand up and back behind you. Generally about shoulder height, but you can also go above or below that. You might notice one side is tighter than the other. If you haven't lifted the right shoulder up and rolled it back, do that with your next breath. Lifting through the top of the head. Noticing if any tension is forming in the face or jaw. Another thing that helps the lymphatic system is jumping, like bouncing on a trampoline. We're not going to be jumping today, but we'll be pumping our feet in downward facing dog. Let's all take a cleansing breath together. Inhale through the nose. Exhale, breathe it out. Let the left hand just slide on down. All right, now we're going to turn to face the wall. Let me show you really quick what we're going to do. Your toes are a few inches away from the wall. The main mistake I see with this are people leaning the chest to the wall. We actually want to keep the head over the shoulders over the pelvis over the ankles. So there's some space here. The hands are going to go in front of the shoulder bones, and we're going to lift the elbows up, and then we're going to roll them down and feel how our arms should be in chaturanga. So hands in front of the shoulder bones, wing the elbows out, and now plug the arms back down and in towards your side ribs. Feel the action from the side strips of your neck through the top portions of the shoulders, the area surrounding the shoulder blades, and even feel the engagement of the upper pectoral muscles in the chest, right? So this action is contraction, and the contraction brings up strength. And when we contract and release, we can get a nice flush. Okay, hold it, one last breath. And then remember how this feels at the wall and compare it to when we actually do a chaturanga in the sun salutation. All right, now let the arms go. You're gonna back up away from the wall. Your hand, you are gonna lean forward, but your buttocks is gonna sail back into the room. The hands are gonna slide up the wall, shoulder distance apart, and then you're just gonna drip down. You're basically hanging in the shoulder joints. You're allowing your chest to melt, your belly to sink. It's very similar to melting heart that we do from a tabletop position. So I want you to activate your legs so that you're activating the growing muscles. So align your legs so that you're rolling your thighs in and powering them back as if you were squeezing a block. And that's going to activate your inner thighs, that growing area where there's other lymph nodes. If you really push down through the mound of the big toes, the inner arch in your heels, that's also going to engage your inner thighs. Something that we can't do when we're in the tabletop position. Take one last breath. Maybe do a cleansing breath into the nose. Out through the mouth. And then gently push into the wall to back away from that position. We're going to do one more pose against the wall. This is our warm-up, by the way. Actually, two more. This one is a modified pink dog. And pink dog is a new pose, actually, that was created specifically for breast cancer patients. However, it could benefit anyone. Think about if someone's had heart surgery, right? They're going to have scar tissue in this area as well. So it looks like this. We do the wall push. The hands are lower than they just were because we're trying to create a 90-degree angle. And instead of going the back, you want to draw the abdomen in. We step one foot behind the other, we spin it down, and I want you to look at the shape of the legs that mimics the shape of the ribbon. Then the opposite hand from where you're stepping over is going to slide up. You're on the fingertips, and you're going to lean through the right side body and back to your right hip. Okay? So let's start off with the wall push. Yeah. You're pressing into the wall with your hands, lengthening back to the spine, and then hug the belly in. You want the core support. All right, we're going to step the right foot to the opposite side of the left ankle. Roll that foot to the floor. Pick up your right hand. Cup that hand so you're on the fingertips. Stretch back through the right hip. Lower the head and gaze up underneath that arm. So even though this is pink dog and it was recommended and created specifically for breast cancer survivors, I couldn't teach this pose, even though this is a modified way to do it. It was too fresh for them. But this can come up later in the recovery. So if you know anyone that may need some help, you could teach them this pose. Take one last breath. Exhale, return the right foot alongside your left and slide your right palm back down the wall. Do the wall push again. Step the left foot to the outer edge of the right ankle, spin that heel to the floor, feel the crossing of the legs, the shape of the ribbon, cupping your left hand, lifting it a little higher than the right, and then stretching through the left side body. Dropping the head, peering up underneath. Don't forget to breathe. And then exhale, uncross the ankle, slide the left hand down, and you can back away. All right, we're gonna do one twist against the wall, and then we'll come back to the mat and flow. So your right side is leaning to the wall. This time you are touching it. Your right knee will lift in line with your right hip. And you'll flex the right ankle. You got it. Now, the right arm's gonna reach up, palm flat. Left arm in front of the chest, palm flat to the surface. Okay, so just look. The hands are like the hands of a clock, and it's at 9. We're gonna take it to 3, which means the right hand has to slide back behind you, similar to that first stretch we did. And then the left arm's gonna reach up. And you are purposely trying to wind and turn your belly and your chest and your face towards the wall. Spinal twist. Remember, there's lots of this in the abdomen. Take one last breath. Lower the left hand, lift the right arm, and then slowly release the right foot. All right, turn to the other side. Left knee will elevate in line with your hip, foot is flexed. Left arm reaches up, right arm out in front. Okay, now we're at 3. We're going to take it to 9. So back up your left hand, elevate your right hand, turn and twist towards the wall. Some of you may even have enough range of motion to gaze back towards the left thumb, but don't force it. Make sure that you can still openly breathe. So deep diaphragmatic breathing is also great for the lymphatic system. Good, inhale, lift the left arm. Exhale, bring the right hand, left foot, back down. All right, that was our one. Now we get to kind of stand and flow a little bit more. So come to stand at the top of your neck. Once you do so, place your hands together to prayer position at your heart. Close your eyes. Take some deep breaths as you ground your feet, as you drop inside, and as you move into the recesses of your mind and heart. Set your personal intention for being here today that may be separate and apart from the theme that we're carrying through. On your next in-breath, crack the eyelids open, sweep the arms to your sides and up overhead. And as you exhale, begin to hinge forward and down from your hips. When you release the head and the heart, inhale, slide your hands up your leg bones, lengthen out through the vertebrae. And then exhale, drop like this. Sliding the hands back down towards the feet. Take a moment here just to stretch the back of the body. And to notice the hips are higher than the heart and the heart is higher than the head. So this too is like an inversion. Good for the lymphatic system in the upper half of the body. On your next in-breath, we're going to step the left foot back behind us. You can have your hands on blocks or the floor for this, but we're going to inhale, move into cow tilt. So you're not going to be very dramatic here. As you elevate the heart, your back thigh and hip will dip. On your out breath, the back thigh and pelvic floor will lift and you'll bow your head and round out. So think cat-cow here. Inhale, opening up the heart and throat. And exhale, rounding the upper back. Continue this as you breathe. So it's not about straightening the front leg. You'll back away from the lunge a little bit as you're breathing out, but it's more about bringing flexibility to the spine, bringing engagement into the core, into the chest. The next time you inhale, we'll step the right foot back to plank. Now, when you step the right foot back to plank, we've been working on, instead of rocking forward with the feet, using our quads and core to shift our body. So zip up through your thighs and belly, shift shoulders past the wrists. Exhale, lower down to chaturanga. Inhale, rise to upward facing dog. Exhale, rolling back to downward facing dog. Now that we've arrived here in downward facing dog, look to make sure there's just a slim space between the big toes. And we're gonna pump the heels up and down as we breathe. So as you inhale, press down to the balls of the feet, come higher onto the tips of the toes. And as you exhale, drop low through your ankles and heels. Nice, inhale, lifting. Exhale, descending. 3 more times. On your next in-breath, come up to the toes. Exhale, land to your knees, and then flatten the tops of the feet. All right, your arms are gonna walk out in front, and you're gonna hold puppy pose, which is a modification for downward facing dog. Your arms are not sinking down, your elbows are lifted, your armpits are up, your ribs are still aligned inside your body instead of poking into your skin. Your belly has to be engaged here. We're supporting our back with that core engagement. But as we exhale, we're gonna sink down into the shoulder joints, releasing the heart, melting it towards the ground. Very similar to what we did at the wall. But we're gonna do this as we breathe. So inhale, engage the front body, neutralize the neck and look down, puppy. Exhale, sink back in and look out with your eyes. You can even add in a cleansing breath if you prefer. But again, a deep diaphragmatic breath is also great for the lymphatic system. One more lift to puppy. Exhaling into melting heart. Now be here for a couple breaths. If it's too much to be on the chin, you can rest on your forehead instead. Inhale, lift, slide your hands back in your direction, curl the toes, lift up and back, downward facing dog. From your Adho Mukha Svanasana, power down through the palms, stretch long through the spine. Inhale, we're gonna bring that left foot all the way forward and up between the hands. Give yourself a helping hand if need be. Come to the tips of the fingers. Inhale to cow. Exhale to cat. So hollow out the belly. Inhale, open the heart, look up. Exhale, round it out and look in. Continue as you breathe. Next time you inhale, just be in the lunge, but as you exhale, you're springing the back foot forward, sliding the hands up the shins to Ardha Uttanasana, and then exhale, slide back down, fold into self. Then lace your hands together, place them at the base of your skull. Let the elbows just relax and flop in towards the temples. And tip your weight forward towards your toes. Now you're not using your arms to pull the head. The arms just fell into a relaxed state to give yourself very gentle traction. Firming here, nothing and no one on this earth can hold me down. Back. Release the arms back to the floor. Inhale, come all the way back up to the top. Exhale, bring hands back towards your arms. All right, ready for the second round. Inhale, arms float up. Exhale, dive into self. Inhale, come halfway up upon arrival. And exhale, release. Once you release it, we're going to inhale, step the left foot back this time. We're going to immediately spin the left foot to the floor, and notice how that right hip wants to wing out. So we're going to tuck that right sit bone again. The right hand is going to be face out just to the inside of the foot, and your left arm is going to fly overhead. A different variation of side angle pose. Now really glue your back foot down, and that'll pick up that inner thigh. Take deep breaths. Affirming, I am a fountain of boundless energy and power. Now look down, frame that front foot with your hands as you spin out. Right foot plank, pause here, build strength here. Stacking the bones and joints of the arms. If you need to rock forward with your feet, do so, but try that more intricate work. Try to use quads, core to shift, and then lower. Inhale, up dog. Exhaling, downward facing dog. Step the feet a little closer if need be. And inhale, lift high to the toes. Exhale, drop down for your heels. Same approach we did earlier, just move with your breath. This time when you inhale, lift to the toes, exhale, land to your knees, untuck the feet. Walk the arms out in front for puppy. Pause in puppy. And then we'll begin the repetition. Breathing in here. Breathing out, surrendering down. And then being active on the in-breath. Spilling down on the out-breath. After this next one, hold Anahatasana, 2 breaths. And inhale, slide your hands back, curl the toes under, take downward facing dog. And another inversion that's good for the lymphatic system. Left foot steps to the top of the mat. The back heel will lower to the floor. Notice that right hip wanting, or left hip wanting to wing out, so tuck it in. Left hand will come to the inside of the foot, and the right arm is going to radiate up towards the sky. Root the feet. Become one with your breath. Know that you are fountain of boundless energy and power. Exhale, release. Spring forward with your back foot. Fold down to Uttanasana. All right, now this is where we're going to flatten the hands forward of the feet. So if you need blocks to have that flat surface, that's okay. If you can place your palms down, probably about 6 to 8 inches in front of your toes. Spread the fingers, regardless if they're on the floor or blocks. And you're gonna sink your weight more into your hands to engage your arms more. The more you engage your hands and arms, the less work you're gonna feel in your legs and feet. It should almost feel like your feet wanna levitate away from the earth. Your head is slightly up, so you're looking at that space between the hands. The more you work the upper body, you're gonna feel the upper back engaged and the top of the chest, as well as the navel piercing in. All right, release that work. Slip back down and towards your thighs. Inhale, coming all the way up. And then exhale, hands to arms. All right, inhale, we're gonna take chair pose. So take your Utkatasana, bring the palms together, and we're gonna rotate over to the right. We're gonna try to have that left elbow touch the thigh or outer knee. And when you're ready, put the weight in your right foot, step back with your left foot. You got it. Now notice how when we stepped back, the navel may be hiding behind your right thigh. So push the left arm down and draw the navel up and over the thigh. Nice, Julie. Dial the heart more towards your thumbs. Breathe in the twist. Good, exhale and wind, touch your palms. Right foot plank. Pause and plank, build some bone density. Rock forward, lower down, Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale to Urdhva Mukha Svanasana. And exhaling to Adho Mukha Svanasana. Once here, you know what to do. We're keeping that repetition going. Inhale, lift into the toes. Exhale, sinking low through the heels. And continue. Inhale, lift to the toes. Exhale, descend to the knees. Then untop the feet. Walk the hands out in front. Tuck feet. Neck is neutral here, so the ears are lined up inside the arm bone. And then exhale, melt. Inhale, draw up. Exhale, let go. About 3 more. Hopefully this is getting a little easier, a little bit more accessible through these reps. Whole melting heart. Inhale, slide your hands back, curl the toes under, lift the knees off with lower downward facing dog. Inhale, we need to bring both feet now to the top of the mat. Bend the knees, lift to Utkatasana chair. Get to the other side. Hands to prayer, we rotate around to the left. See if that elbow can stack to the outer thigh or outer knee. Settle the weight into the left foot. Step the right foot back. And then elevate the belly button. Twist a little more. Breathe a little better. Exhale, unwind. Plant the palms. Left foot to plank. Exhale to Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale to upward facing dog. And this time on the exhale, we're going to come back to extended child's pose. Let's take a moment here. A moment to relax and settle in. Even though our arms are still extended out in front. Return to your breath. Manage your breath. I read that deep diaphragmatic breaths acts as a pump for the deeper lip tissues. So maybe allow that belly to really swell, inflate on the inhale, and deflate on the exhale. All right, we're going to switch our direction now. So instead of concluding this Surya Namaskara, we're going to extend the arms out in front. We're going to rock up to hands and knees. We're going to curl the toes under, launch into, again, to downward facing dog.
For downward facing dog, I want you to lift your right leg skyward. Scissor that foot up, bend that top knee, take downward scorpion, looking up underneath that right arm, right? But this is similar to what we do in pink dog. All right, so remember that action. Unroll the right hip, land your right foot to the back side of your left foot. Roll the right heel to the floor. Create the shape of the ribbons with your legs. Push into your palms, stretch back for your spine. And then cup your right hand and spill the head down and look up underneath the right arm. Good, exhale, unwind. Place both feet down side by side. Inhale, elevate the left leg up. Scissor the leg a little higher before creating downward scorpion. And feel the similarity of pink dog and how we drop the head and look up underneath the arms. At first, unwind the left hip. When that foot starts to lower, you can cross it to the other side of your right foot. You can spin down to the heel. You can elevate your hips by pressing into your palms. You can stack on the fingertips and then cast your gaze up underneath the left arm. Uncross the feet. Land gently to your knees. Flip your left palm open. We're going back into a twist. We're going to thread the needle here. Now I want to use this twist because twists are great for the lymphatic tissues, but so are inversions. And with this pose, you get both. Your right hand can rest in front of your face. You can extend it out in front of you to take it out of your peripheral line of view. You can also cross and loop it behind your back. So there's options. What do you need or desire today? If the right arm is behind your back, slip the hand back down before the face. Unthread the left arm. And now thread your right arm. Now there's a passive way to do this, and there's an active way to do this. You want to stay active, you're rolling towards the right shoulder blade. Go ahead and choose your left arm position. And as you exhale, hand on the left palm to inhale, come out. We're going to do one more twist on our backs before we come to the wall. So swing the legs out in front. We're going to hug your knees in. Reset the spine. And please know that when your feet are touching the floor before the twist, it's going to affect more of the low back. The more you hover the feet or tuck the knees in towards your chest, that twist is going to wind up your spine to a higher degree. So we're all locked or stuck in different places in our back. So honor where that is and make your own adjustments. Inhale, fan your arms nice and wide. Exhale, allow the knees to roll off to the left.
Notice how slim or wide any gap is between the knees. Notice if you're feeling anything in the right shoulder as you try to roll it down towards the ground. Inhale, draw the knees back through center. Cross your right leg over your left. Take it deeper. Again, knees to left, same side. Your right foot can be used as a kickstand to keep the knees more elevated if settling them down is too much for your back. But I want you to turn your head to one side or the other to bring the spine, or the twist rather, all the way up the spine into the neck. And affirming here as you breathe, I'm opening myself up to a new flow of life force energy within. Turn your head to center, draw the knees to center, uncross your legs. Keep it simple in the first round. Roll the knees to the right. Now that we're to the opposite side, notice any similarities or differences. More or less of a gap between the knees. Is the left shoulder capable of landing down? Opening myself up to a new flow of life force energy within. Draw the knees back to center. Cross left leg over right. Roll the knees to the right. Maybe turn your head to the opposite shoulder than you did before. Inhale, turn your head to center, draw the knees to center, uncross, and hug in. If you would rather do happy baby pose, you're still flat on your back. You can grab your feet, you can separate your knees out, and get some more hip work in. Hold for 3 more breaths. And release your legs or feet. Roll over to one side of your body. Come on up. So I think it was it last Monday that we did like against the wall, we turned and then did the scissoring split. Okay, we did that last week. We're not doing that this week. We're gonna do something a little bit more structured. So that was kind of fun and free flowing, and this one's more structured. And Cindy likes this one. This is what I mentioned last week. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna measure. So your feet are gonna be flush to the wall. Your hands will be beside your hips. You'll leave one hand there, and then you're gonna separate your hands shoulder distance. You guys can watch first if you want. I'm gonna know Cindy knows what she's doing. And then we walk the feet up. And then the feet are flat, so we're a 90-degree angle looking down at the space between the hands.
And then only if you feel strong enough, stable enough, should you lift one of the legs into like more of a handstand shape. So that same feel that we were getting when we were standing and plugging the hands down and where the feet wanted to levitate off the floor, that's the same action and power and strength we want to use with the arms. Yes, the measurement's off.
Yeah, my head.
Yeah, so sit again. Yeah, but that's what you want, because when you push the feet to the wall, you're gonna get it touch right over the shoulders. So it's not down dog, right? But if you do that, you're gonna be at an angle. Your hips won't fit over your shoulders. I know. If you want to just walk the wall, just back a bit. Yeah. That's what I'm going to do in the gentle. Like that. That's another way to do it. So I want you to look at Julie for a moment. So this is actually what I'm going to be doing in the gentle class. It's different than what I was instructing. However, it can be scary to do what I just instructed, because you're actually lining your body up in a perfectly 90-degree angle where your hips are over your shoulders and your shoulders are over your hands. So doing this number where you just simply walk the feet up and you're at an angle, it's much more gentle. It's much easier to maintain and your neck is relaxed and you can just look towards the wall in this one versus, you know, picking the head up and looking between your hands. It's different, but it's also really great for the lymphatic system because you're upside down. It's also strength building because you're still supporting your own body weight. So there's still a lot of benefits coming in. Oh, look at you, Megan, just going for forearm stands.
My wrist won't hold.
Which is also great. Did you guys hear her? She was like, my wrist won't hold me. So she went to the forearms. Beautiful. Yeah, and it works though. Nice, Cindy.
Was I in an L?
Yeah.
Okay, good.
From this angle, it looked like a perfect L.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
Sometimes, you know, the feet wanna.
Sometimes they want to go up higher.
Oh.
And sometimes if you get really sweaty or if your feet are oily, feet will slide. So yeah.
Yeah, I mean, my feet were sweaty right away.
All right, so that was our big pose we were going up to today. So again, it also goes with the theme, but you can see how I couldn't have done this practice with these women yet. They would have to build up for that practice. But the good thing is we have all this information and we can now know we're helping our lymphatic system through all these poses, through this breath work, which helps to fight infection, inflammation, illness, and disease. Important for our health. So if you want, legs up the wall for Shavasana, you're already here, you can strike this pose. If you'd rather do a hip opener at the wall, and if you would rather do something entirely different, I know Cindy usually likes corpse pose. You may want to use your bolster. I'll let you pick. Once you find your way in the pose of your choice, make sure your mind and body are in agreement with that pose. As the mind and the body are aligning and agreeing, take rest so that you can replenish. Replenish your mind, body, spirit. This mantra that you play is a healing mantra. But if you want to focus on the mantra, you can recite it as she sings. Or you can just listen and picture a beautiful orb of light cocooning you and bathing you, moving through you. Or you can direct healing light to someone else that may need some healing.
your breath. Witness it come and go. Merge with it. Deepen. Gently begin to slide the feet down the wall. Or draw the knees together. Pull them in towards your chest. And then on your position. Roll over to your favorite side. And build up for a formal seat. Joining your hands together. The light in me honors and bows to the beautiful light. Each of Noticing all the variety in the room. I'm always happy to see that.